Good afternoon, traders. It's Erica at Alpha E Trades. It is Wednesday, July 14th, about 1:20 p.m. in the States. And quick daily video update. We are currently super flat, not a whole heck of a lot to talk about, but I want to do a quick top-down analysis. We're super sideways, and it can be frustrating for some who are trading because it's how you get caught when you're intraday trading. And the big kahuna question, do you buy or do you sell? I have been on the sidelines today just because it's too sideways. Let's take a look though. Currently, this afternoon, we're positive 3 points on ES, NQ, positive 51 points, RTY, negative 23. All right. Now, here's our monthly chart on ES. Now, remember, every candle represents 1 month. So, in real time, this chart is slow as molasses because this is 1 month parameters. Overall, we are targeting the 45.97, but again here, traders, that does not mean that we cannot come and test this 50 exponential moving average here, and so forth, okay? But for a blueprint of where price, from this price projection on this swing here, from this swing low down to this low, here's our breach point. This is what we're anticipating here. As to when, we don't know when. Perhaps maybe going into fall. For this week, though, we were eyeing 4,400 psychological. And let's see here. So this is the monthly. Let's take a look here at the weekly chart. So something to take note of on this weekly chart, and this is kind of tricky, okay? Because when we have our targets, we're always targeting 100 extensions for target 1, and then if there's enough momentum, we'll put in a target 2 at the 141 extension. But this is very tricky because notice here we're starting to end a little bit in, so far that is, in what's a spinning top. Now, again, very deceiving as well because every candle represents 1 week. But notice how we're kind of hovering here on this 100 extension, this 43.65. So a little deceiving here. Technically, this pattern could be complete because it did hit the 100 extension. Okay, and it's using from this swing down to this swing low. This was our breach point. So a lot of times we'll get a test back into the major breach point here. Okay, oh, I'm locked. It's not going to allow me to do that. So give or take is around the 42.50. Okay, so I just want to point that out that technically from this weekly perspective, the target has been met at the 100 extension here. Okay, now let's take a look at our daily chart or 1440 minute chart. All right, so again, traders, know your time frames depending upon what your style of trading is. When we're sideways like this, I've been on the sidelines today, but I go down to micro contracts, the MES, just for a few contracts here and there so that the risk is very low, just in case the market wants to maintain bipolar and be flat and then do spikes from buyers and sellers. And that way, when I'm stopped out or if I'm stopped out, it doesn't break the bank. All right, so this is the 1440 minute chart. Let's take a look here. Not a whole heck of a lot happening here. This is the past 3 days. Okay, 3 days, 1, 2, 3. Very sideways. So again, here, this is where traders get caught on the wrong side of the trade. The overall trend, obviously, is uber bullish, but again, doesn't mean that we don't have these pullbacks here. We have closed over barely the 61.8, and now we're holding here on this 50, 43.51. Now ultimately here, our first target is the 100 extension from the 1440 minute chart. That's 44.35. But we're going to start with 4400 because that's psychological. Okay, so that's what we've got going on the 1440. Now the 4-hour chart, let's take a look at this 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is very deceiving as well, okay, because this is sideways, okay. Not a whole heck of a lot, nothing truly happening. Okay, we've got these lower lows, but they're very shallow pullbacks here. Okay, now yesterday I did mention that sometimes market will hold on the 61.8, and that's exactly what we're doing here. This is a 4-hour perspective here. Okay, if you take a look here, this was yesterday, and then here's today. So we have resistance here. Okay, at this all-time high here. So the big kahuna question is, are we going to be able to break this? Or are we going to have a pullback and perhaps come back and test. Let's take a look here. What is this? This yellow line is the 200 exponential moving average, 43.37. So this is why, depending upon your time frames, this can be super frustrating for a lot of people because, again, you get caught on the wrong side of the trade. However, though, nothing has been confirmed from a selling perspective, even for a pullback just yet. We'll look at the lower time frames here. We did have one confirmation, but the trade is already finished, and we'll go over that here. So from the 4-hour perspective, this is what we've got going on, nothing truly confirmed. However, though, take note, we do have resistance here at this 61.8 on this fib here, 43.86. Okay, so we'll see how the market ends today. So this is the 4-hour chart. Now let's take a look at this. Actually, you know what? I want to take a look at the 30-minute chart here. All right, so I've been eyeing this 30-minute chart here. Technically, very, very confusing because here's our buyers. Locked. Okay. Here's our buyers, traders. Here's our sellers. So, what this means here, if the sellers want to do a pullback here, it's going to look like this. Okay, so here's our sellers. And then we have target 1 at the 100 extension, target 2, 43.29. However, though, if we hold, let's do a retracement here. So if we come down, test into this 76.4, and the market does something like this, and then takes off, here's our buyers. So you see how frustrating that this can be. Okay, MACD is it's a little bit bullish. There's nothing truly confirmed just yet. Okay, if I stretch this up here on MACD, okay, and if I go like this, buyers are certainly they're trying hard here. Okay, but I just want to point this out so everyone can see if you're frustrated of market direction. Usually when we consolidate like this, another breakout will happen. Now, to which side? I'm not exactly sure, and so this is why I kind of stay on the sidelines until I have true confirmation, because again here, traders, here's your buyers up here, and here's your sellers. Okay, so it's a waiting game. Now, if we were to break out to the upside here for buyers, let's take a look. Now again, hypothetically, if we hold, we have to hold this price here, but I'm just demonstrating here. Let's take the 61.8. Okay, so again here's your buyers up here. And let's take a look here. So this would take us into, well, target 1 would be the 43.79, but then target 2 would be another all-time high, 43.87. So just wanted to demonstrate that quickly here, what's happening on the 30-minute chart. Okay. Now the 15-minute chart, let's take a look. Let's take a look at how wacky this is. This was yesterday. Let me scrunch this up so we can see. Okay. We had confirmation here on our trade from the buyers yesterday. Okay, so let's draw this in. So this was the trade from yesterday. Here was our buyer's trigger here. And so take a look at what happened. Nice strong candle, closed efficient. Okay. And then kind of a fake out here. Okay, market died out. And then all of a sudden sellers came back in. But then take a look here. So on the 4-hour chart, remember how I said on that 61.8, we came back and retested the same identical level today. Okay, so this is why I'm like, this is just wacky, and this is garbage trading, because you can truly get hurt here if you're trading full-size contracts on ES here. So in hindsight, our favorite indicator, this pattern did fail on this 15-minute chart. However, though, if you had your stops in, you were either at break even or at a small loss here. Okay, now we did have a selling pattern here. It was here. Here's your high. Here was your sellers. Okay, and we met both targets, 100 extension and 141. However, though, again, market's being a little goofy here because we don't have any true confirmation. Okay, are the buyers going to come in and are we going to hold here and then the market's going to go back up? So this is key level here for us on that 61.8 from the 4-hour chart. Okay. So again here, traders, overall it's a waiting game. So again, if you're feeling a little bit frustrated, usually when the market's like this, go down to micro contracts so that you don't truly break the bank if you do get stopped out, and or go into demo mode if you are learning to trade. It's always good to you trade in demo mode so that you're not truly losing a whole heck of a lot of money here. All right, traders, so with that being said, I don't have a whole heck of a lot concrete on that for ES as for our current trade setup. We just don't have it yet. Now NQ, let's take a look here. NQ super sideways, same thing. We met our targets to the long side here, 100 extension, and then today we hit the 141, which yesterday I showed on the video. So there's nothing set up on NQ just yet, maybe from a 5-minute perspective. But the problem with trading sometimes on the 5-minute perspective is that the retracements are super short-lived. RTY, let's take a look. Okay, RTY had some funky stuff going on as well. Ultimately here, traders, we went and we hit our target here for the buyers at the 100 extension, and then we had another selling trade, and then we hit, here's our target 100 extension at 21.91. We're not quite there yet, but we are on S3. So again, this just shows you that when you're super sideways, we hit target 1 up here, and now we're attempting target 2 from the opposite side here at for RTY. Okay. So with that being said, not a whole heck of a lot of true price action going on. We're super sideways, and we'll check back tomorrow, see how we're going. Hopefully we've got a little bit more momentum and see where we're at on the buyers and the sellers. All right, traders, have a good one.